Federal Executive Council approves 2024 appropriation bill of 27.5 trillion naira, ready for transmission to National Assembly.
The House will convene a budget town hall meeting to enable citizens.
More funding towards restoring dignity of elderly as Senate proposes amendment to National Senior Citizen Center Act.
The NTA must continue to evolve, embracing innovation while upholding the highest standards of journalistic integrity.
Impactful techniques in modern broadcasting for quality TV content dominates discussions at annual NTA Management Conference. Hello and thank you for joining us on the network news on NTA. I'm Naja Atutijani. Remember that this broadcast is also being streamed live on our website, nta.ng/live. And do give us a follow across all social media platforms. The Federal Executive Council has approved the 2024 appropriations bill of 27.5 trillion naira to be presented to the National Assembly by President Bola Tinubu, part of decisions taken at the meeting of the Federal Executive Council this Monday, and details will come in our subsequent bulletin. Meanwhile, the newly appointed permanent secretaries in the Federal Civil Service have been sworn in. Their appointments follow the recently concluded selection process by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation. President Bola Tinubu performed the ceremony in the council chamber of the State House before the commencement of this Monday's meeting of the Federal Executive Council. The new permanent secretaries who took oath of office before the president include Ndayako Aisha Tugoko, Adeoye Adeleye Ayodiji, Rimi Nura Abba, Bako Deborah Odo, Omachi Raymond Omenka, Ahmadunoma Umar, Wati Tinuke and Ella Nicholas Agbo. President Tinubu anticipates that the new permanent secretaries, having emerged at the top of qualified candidates after a diligent assessment process, will deploy their expertise and competence in the effective execution of the renewed hope mandate to revitalize service delivery in all federal ministries, departments and agencies in the interest of the Nigerian people.
It is a celebration of merit in the civil service, and we have been able to swear in. Mr. President has sworn in 8 new permanent secretaries, and he believes sincerely that it is only a merit-based system that can produce permanent secretaries that would drive the renewed hope agenda of his administration.
This has charged us.
Musbao Danwahab reports that the new permanent secretaries will be posted in due course. The Senate Committee on Special Duties has emphasized the need to amend the Act establishing the National Senior Citizen Center to increase funding towards restoring the dignity of the elderly. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that this was highlighted during a meeting between the committee and management of the agency.
I don't know what your agency is doing to liaise with the necessary agencies that are supposed to be taking care of these people.
The National Senior Citizen Center, since its establishment, has been engaging stakeholders. Its focus is to have this segment mainstreamed into the planning and implementation stages of social welfare initiatives. The Director General of the agency, Imam Omokaro, says progress is being made in efforts to ensure inclusion of senior citizens in economic, health, and other activities in both the public and private sector.
The best prospect here is the restoration of dignity, is the building an inclusive society where older people are not looked down on, making our youth look forward to aging, and making the working population be joyful that once they retire, there is an oasis waiting for them.
She, however, added that funding remains a challenge.
The budget, 300 million naira, almost every senator that spoke here said it was grossly inadequate. Here is a country where the president of the country is an elderly person. We believe any amendment that was sent to him with his renewed hope agenda, he will not waste time to assent with a view to uplifting the elderly persons in the society.
The lawmakers suggested the way out to make the agency fit for purpose. The agency was also advised to channel more energy to public enlightenment and expanding its engagements to states and local governments for more impacts to be felt by the targeted group. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
And speaking of impact, the House of Representatives has promised to involve Nigerians in consideration and passage of the 2024 appropriation bill to be presented to the legislature in the coming days. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas stated this at a one-day capacity building retreat for chairmen and deputies of standing committees of the House. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen reports.
This retreat is to guide the leadership of 139 standing committees of the House on strategies for implementing its legislative agenda, which will be a yardstick for assessment after 4 years. Speaker Tajuddin Abbas does not mince words in telling the leaders of the standing committees to engage Nigerians in a transparent manner and make the Green Chamber truly the people's house.
This is necessary for reducing suspicion, building trust, and generating support for the work of the National Assembly. As we expect to receive the 2024 appropriation bill in the next coming few days, I wish to state that the House will convene a budget town hall meeting to enable citizens to make inputs into the 2024 budget appropriation.
Funding for House committees should be provided to ensure that the standing, special and ad hoc committees of the House can fulfill their responsibilities effectively without depending on outside parties for support.
Let these retreats be a catalyst for innovation, a springboard for excellence.
Other speakers described the standing committees as crucial to the success of the 10th House of Representatives.
This House will deliver on time, and we promise more robust interactions in the nearest future.
The legislature is too important for democracy, very important, and the committees are the engine room for legislative work.
The essence of this retreat is to provide synergy between committee chairmen and their deputies, committee leadership and its members, and the committees and MDS.
Everything we do definitely is for the betterment of the country.
Improving legislative performance through effective committee management is the theme of this retreat to enhance the institutional capacity of the House towards delivering good governance. Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The federal government is leveraging the expertise of forensic and financial professionals to entrench a fiscal policy regime which will ensure probity and utilization of the nation's scarce resources across the 36 states of the Federation. This is coming from the Conference of Auditors General for State and Local Governments by Fraud Investigators of Nigeria as part of efforts aimed at retooling budgetary provisions in line with best practices.
With the sophistications and complexity of modern fraud, only forensic experts equipped with adequate tools can navigate murky waters of unveiling the immediate and remote causes of fraud.
So it's a well-established technical board with highly resourced people that will help in making sure that the digitalization process of the procurement management process is accomplished.
The session revealed that the gross approved budget expenditure of 2023 for the 36 states totaled 10.94 trillion naira, apart from personnel cost and overhead expenditure. You can't beat the reach. NTA, the Nigerian Television Authority slogan, which the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, is using as a driving force to assure Nigerians of quality broadcasting through the NTA, of course. The minister, who was at the annual NTA Management Conference in Retreat, also gave federal government's assurance of enabling the national broadcast station maintain its leadership through quality of signal and content. Salihu Gwanara reports.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation arrives at the Nigerian Army Resource Center, venue of the 2023 NTA Management Conference and Retreat. Directors and general managers from across NTA's 108 stations are available to rub minds on the task ahead of the public broadcaster in line with the aspirations of the federal government, NTA's transformative agenda towards rediscovering its golden era as a leading broadcaster with quality entertainment, informative and educative programs is gaining momentum, with Minister of Information and National Orientation providing the needed guidance.
As we embark on this retreat, it is crucial to reflect on the dynamic landscape of the media industry generally. The advent of new technologies and changing viewer preferences pose challenges and, of course, opportunities. Our commitment to excellence and adaptability is therefore very paramount. The NTA must continue to evolve, embracing innovation while upholding the highest standards of journalistic integrity.
An astute information manager himself, the minister says the event is timely in view of the growing number of options for the viewing public to source information and the challenge of social media, which sometimes comes with false and misleading information.
The president ran his campaign during the electioneering on the renewed hope agenda to ensure that our country returns to the path of economic recovery and sustainable development. Therefore, it behoves on the NTA to continue to enlighten Nigerians on the successes being recorded on all fronts in the implementation of the renewed hope agenda.
In line with his desire to uphold standard among the public broadcasters, the minister promised to be active on events like this one as part of his oversight function to improve productivity. From the Army Resource Center in Abuja, Saliu Gwanara, NTA News.
Meanwhile, growing competition in the media space and the desire of viewers for timely, accurate and quality content demands diligence, innovation and creativity in production. The thrust of NTA's annual management conference and retreat in Abuja, Joseph Watson has a different slant.
From all zones, states and FCT, those on top of NTA management converge here. It is an annual management conference and retreat.
As we navigate
this year, the concentration is going beyond the wide reach of NTA to focusing on technological innovations, quality content production and investment.
But seize this initiative to innovate through collaborative efforts and blend of ideas. We can chart a course that transcends mere survival, propelling the nation into a realm of sustained relevance and also of influence in nation building.
Without information, the security aspect will be nil. And so working together in synergy, we'll be able to achieve so much.
Interactive sections on peculiar challenges of stations, exploring immediate environment for revenue generation and security.
So if you're able to do something that help people overcome a challenge, which you too you're also going through, it means a lot of people will now be watching. And then you can now take that number and that content, because people are watching it, the organizations that have the funds to fund that content will come to you.
Most people buy equipment, they don't read the manual. Most people own equipment, they don't read the manual. And even if you don't own the equipment, you can take out time and read manuals, and you can learn a lot about various equipments from just reading manuals.
Media aid to the minister for all the ministry must be working in synergy with NTA. NTA should have the first place in whatever advertisement, in whatever publicity that need to be made.
With the theme of the conference, effective management of a television station in a competitive environment, the target is to harmonize quality production on board all NTA stations. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of a new board and management team for the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited in compliance with Section 59, Subsection 2 of the Petroleum Industry Act 2021 with effect from December 1st, 2023. They are Pius Akinyelure, Non-Executive Board Chairman, Mele Kolo Kyari, Group Chief Executive Officer, Umar Isa Ajia, Chief Financial Officer, Ledum Miti, Non-Executive Director, Musa Tumsa, Non-Executive Director, Gali Muhammad, Non-Executive Director, Professor Mustafa Aliu, Non-Executive Director, David Obodo, Non-Executive Director, and Eunice Thomas, Non-Executive Director. President Tinubu has also approved the appointment of two permanent secretaries, Okokon Ekanemudo, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, and Gabriel Aduda, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Petroleum Resources. President Tinubu anticipates the team will fully implement the energy policy that will monetize all available oil and gas resources of today, while paving the way for the total exploitation of new and cleaner energy sources for tomorrow. This is the network news on NTA. Stay tuned for more reports.
Where is Glory?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hello? Where Glow now?
Are they here?
Glow, don't go village. Tell all our customer abi.
Everybody pay attention. See, now Glow berekete 10x. Now him I they take tension my customers. Now they dash me 10 times the credits when I load. Or even summer me double data.
Character and discipline, values required by legal practitioners, says the Chief Justice of Nigeria, especially those conferred with Senior Advocate of Nigeria, a position newly attained by 58 legal practitioners and coinciding with the commencement of the new legal year of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Olabode Arewa reports.
The Constitution of the Republic of Nigeria.
This is a roll call of 58 learned counsel taking the oath upon their being conferred as learned senior advocates of Nigeria, SAN. To merit the conferment, a learned counsel must have spent at least 10 years post-call, and he has been distinguished before the Legal Practitioners Privileges Committee that approves the conferment. Beyond the ceremony associated with the conferment, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Oluka Odaiwola, took time to enunciate the current steps being taken by the judicial arm of government to sustain the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary in the country, particularly as the new legal year of the Supreme Court of Nigeria commences.
I'm very much convinced that judicial officers at the various hierarchy of courts in Nigeria are discharging their judicial functions in a befitting manner. But as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, I still strongly desire from all judicial officers across courts to lead a disciplined and principled lifestyle.
New and enviable status demands that you must be honest.
Some notable lawyers who were just conferred as new silks include Fumi Falana, Olumide Akinlujimi, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliu, and Dr. Kayode Ajulo.
For every practicing lawyer, this is the height of it.
Since its establishment in 1976, more than 600 Nigerian lawyers have attained the rank of the Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja affirms the election of Ahmed Aliu as the duly elected governor of Sokoto State. The three-man panel of justices gave the verdict in a unanimous decision on the appeal by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Seidu Umar, challenging the victory of Governor Aliu in the March 18 poll. The Sokoto State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal had on 30th September 2023 affirmed the election of Aliu of the All Progressives Congress as Governor Sokoto, having won the March 18 gubernatorial election in the state. The three-man tribunal, in its ruling, dismissed the petition of the People's Democratic Party and its candidate, Saidu Umar, challenging the victory of the governor in the March 18 poll, holding that the petitioners failed to prove their case that Aliu was not qualified to contest the Sokoto State governorship election. The Independent National Electoral Commission had declared Aliu winner of the election, having polled a total of 453,661 votes, while Saidu Umar of the PDP polled 404,682 votes to place second. To air safety now, the Nigeria Safety Investigative Bureau has given 10 days ultimatum to submit a comprehensive report of the recent air incident involving United Nigeria flight NUA 0506 from Lagos, which went to Asaba rather than its original destination. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, gave the order at a meeting with heads of agencies in Abuja. Issues surrounding recent aircraft accidents in the country and proffering lasting solution topped the dialogue.
Because of the incident that happened yesterday where a plane bound for Abuja ended up in Asaba, we have listened to the transcripts from the tower to the pilots. The transcript was produced by NAMA, because NAMA is in charge of recordings and navigational issues and radio communication. It was clear that when the pilot was taking off from Lagos, he was headed to Asaba, not Abuja, whereas the flight ought to be a flight headed for Abuja. There was no weather problem in Abuja yesterday. The NIMET DG is here. As henceforth, all wet leases coming into Nigeria, you must have a Nigerian pilot seated at least on the jump seats. If it's not the two pilots, on the jump seats must be seated there with the foreign pilots.
The minister also directed the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to meet with all pilots and wet leads to get acquainted with regulations and the Nigerian terrain within 72 hours. To expedite trial and prosecution of perpetrators of gender-based violence in Nigeria, the 36 state governors have signed a law to establish a mobile court across the country. The Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy Ohanenye, revealed this at the commencement of the Global 16 Days of Activism in Abuja. Ngozi Technical reports.
We provide general guidance and direction at the national level on all activities relating to the planning, development, and supporting of social service workforce, which may be disseminated to state and local government levels.
We had a bit of an audio problem there. We do apologize, and now we'll be heading to our Lagos Network Center for more reports from that zone.
Thank you, Najatu. The Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria, ACAN, has again raised the bar in the practice of the profession as the apex advertising body in Nigeria inducted, among others, Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority, Salihu Abdul Hamid Dembos, into its fold. Diana Jale, who attended the ceremony in Lagos, says that 2 executive directors of the NTA were also inducted as fellow members.
After the order, the inductees received their plaques and certificates of fellowship.
Bringing in more innovation, new innovation, especially in the area of outdoor, the indoor, even the printing industry.
It's also an encouragement for us, who are the inductees or fellows now as senior people in the industry.
For the NTA family, it was a big day as the Director General of the largest TV network in Africa, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, including Director Marketing NTA and Zonal Director NTA Port Harcourt, were inaugurated as fellows of the Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria.
For me, this is always going to be a constant reminder to adhere by advertising best practices and to make sure that it is also adhered to at the Nigerian Television Authority.
And today I'm at the peak of it. I'm a fellow. I'm so excited. I've always looked forward to being a fellow of APCON.
While speaking on expectations from the newly installed fellowship members, Director General Alcom emphasized on areas the inductees can use their certificates in advertising that will further develop the industry.
Now they are more responsible for leadership, they are responsible for mentorship, so you should provide a leadership role to the extent that the younger ones that are coming into industry can have people to say, now we are looking at it.
Being the highest status of membership of the profession, Alcom Fellowship title is conferred only on practitioners who have been registered as full members of the profession. Good academic qualification, competence, experience, significant impact to the development of the profession, and consistent engagement in practice of marketing communications for a minimum 15 years. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
One of the largest beverage companies and manufacturer of carbonated soft drinks, Coca-Cola, has again led the chart by unveiling 5 notable musicians that will champion the Coke Studio 2023 in a move to redefine the music entertainment industry. The event attracted artists from the world of entertainment, and Lynn Deneke witnessed the unveiling of these ambassadors for the Coke Studio 2023 in Lagos.
These electrifying performances by various artists drawn from the Nigerian music industry set the tone for the unveiling of 5 notable ambassadors for the Coke Studio for 2023. Unveiling of these 5 ambassadors who have made their marks in the music industry, both home and abroad, will foster productive collaboration while unlocking the potential inherent in the younger generation for global recognition.
Within the Nigerian context, we probably have the biggest artists around the continent, so we took the Coke Studio a bit further in terms of bringing in 5 Nigerian artists, creating what we call the best of coalitions that would see people enjoy music in a way they've never seen before. But at the end of all that piece is that the Coke bottle is your ticket into unlocking all of these opportunities.
For these ambassadors, the endorsements could not have come at a better time.
I feel really excited to be one of them. So yeah, I just came out to celebrate with the fans, celebrate with the people and the management and the brand. So yeah, tonight is really exciting.
I love being on stage, I love performing, whether it's Coca-Cola, whether it's anyone else. Like I just love being on stage, just like killing it. So yeah, I love being on stage, like my playground. So.
The management of Coca-Cola refreshing drink have over time provided platforms for music icons to excel in their chosen careers.
Ojo, we've gotten Mayokun, and in addition to that, we added Aria, Rema, and Ashake. For us, this is the beginning of Coca-Cola connecting with our esteemed teenagers and Gen Zs.
The management of Coca-Cola also pledged their unflinching support in ensuring that the music industry achieves greatly worldwide. In Lagos, Lynn Deneke, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos. The network news will continue after this time out with Nadia in Abuja. Please stay with us.
Giving a discount up to 75% on their products.
Federal Executive Council approves 2024 appropriation bill of 27.5 trillion naira to be presented to National Assembly by President Tinubu. Details with State House correspondent Musbau Danwahab.
After trips on bilateral and foreign direct investment drive to Saudi Arabia and Germany, President Bola Tinubu back and chaired his administration's 5th meeting of the Federal Executive Council. Expectedly, several memoranda were waiting for attention. And so, preparation for the 2024 fiscal year toward the implementation of its renewed core policies and programs in priority areas topped the priority list. That necessitated deliberations on the 2024 appropriation bill and a review of a medium-term expenditure framework earlier approved by the National Assembly. And after about 3 hours of deliberations by the council members, the Information Minister, Mohammed Idris, led the relevant ministers to brief the correspondents.
The Council has just finished its deliberation.
The first renewed hope budget to be presented by President Bola Tinubu to the National Assembly is worth 27.5 trillion naira, based on exchange rate of 750 naira to a dollar and crude oil reference price of $77.96.
Which is an increase of over 1.5 trillion from the previously estimated using the old reference prices. The forecast revenue is now 18.32 trillion, which is higher than the 2023 revenues, including that provided in the 2 supplementary budgets. Equally and commendably, the deficit is lower than that of 2023.
Ministry of Finance secured the approval of the Council for a $100 million financing from the African Development Bank on behalf of Abia State and another $1 billion concessional financing to support the macro economy of the country.
And really, it was a recognition of the macroeconomic measures that have been taken.
The Council has also approved the recommendations of a Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee in the first part of its assignments.
The policy on VAT removal on diesel is from them. They are looking to help boost fiscal situation of the government by increasing revenue, particularly tax revenue, through digitalization.
In one of its 2 memoranda, the Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace Management got approval of a Council for the supply and installation of customized explosives and narcotics detection screening systems for the Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Port Harcourt and Enugu airports. This is to change the experience and burden that come with searches at the airports.
You see various agencies lined up. NTA, let's say, open your bag. Immigration, open your bag. Customs, open your bag. AFCC, open your bag. And they will dip in their hands in your bag. And, so we also saw the need for this kind of equipment.
The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, presented a memo for the approval of a draft national report for the 4th cycle of the United Nations Periodic Review.
Council also had and observed a minute silence in honor of one member, a former member of the Federal Executive Council who passed on, Dr. Onaolapo Shole. He was Minister of Finance during the time of Muhammadu Buhari.
From the State House, Musbau and Wahab, NC News.
Now let's talk business with Musa Abubakar.
Thank you, Najat. The Central Bank of Nigeria and Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria are partnering the judiciary towards actualization of CBN's Refocus Policy Trust and speedy adjudication of commercial and business disputes. This was the thrust of a national seminar on banking and allied matters for judges in Abuja.
An efficient judicial system indeed attracts
foreign direct investment, which we require critically at this point in our economic development.
But just to use this medium to further emphasize the need for the creation of a specialized court to exclusively deal with commercial and financial cases as opposed to the current situation, so that we can dispense with cases.
The small and medium-scale enterprises sector is getting attention at all levels of government. Katsina is among states seeking partnership with the Korea International Cooperation Agency to promote this sector. Governor of Katsina State, Malam Diko Umar Rada, said the partnership is also in the area of agriculture and rural development, as well as COCAS support in the training and development of ICT for the state civil service. This is as federal and state governments continue to seek for foreign direct investment into the country. It's a bullish close for the equities market as investors at the first weekday of trade on positive note. The all-share index climbed 0.17% at 71,353.81 basis point. A total of 746.6 million units of securities valued at 5.9 billion naira were traded in 9,267 deals as market capitalization advanced to 39 trillion naira. The financial services sector led top trade chart with Universal Insurance PLC, Access Holdings PLC, and Unity Bank PLC. Well, that's it. More reports with Najatu after the break.
Islamic clerics are advocating enhanced effort towards the promotion of a shared vision and inclusive society devoid of division, a world with dignity and mutual respect. The conversation at a peace and unity conference convened by One Ummah in Abuja. Tokbe Alabi reports.
Sessions at this convention focused on the imperative task of changing the narrative, the role of the Ummah in a rapidly changing world. And in turns, discussants expressed the belief that the Ummah's role is not only to adapt, but to influence the trajectory of change.
Is by taking the poor in the society as your priority.
And that's why we have a lot of obstacles to change, to be the Muslim Allah wants me to be.
The convention is to really change that narrative of being able to give back, knowing what to be involved in, and how to really be advocates for a better society and a better environment.
We as One Woman believe that this is the foundation. If we get our youths right, then we're going to see the bright and the bright future moving forward, inshallah.
For the visiting Islamic clerics, as the global landscape undergoes rapid transformations, the Muslim community holds a crucial responsibility in shaping its narrative.
This is about galvanizing people to action, to doing something beneficial for humanity.
These steps that we are taking, they may seem baby steps, but for us they are so significant because end of the day, we're all human beings, we're all custodians of this beautiful earth. What have we contributed that when we leave, we would actually have left a beautiful legacy?
So our role here is to convey the message in its pure essence.
By changing the narrative, the convention aspires to inspire a collective commitment to building a better future. Tokbe Alabi, NTA.
Meanwhile, former Inspector General of Police and Chairman, Police Service Commission, Dr. Solomon Arase, says effective collaboration between the police and the public will generate super policing, which guarantees security. This was at the Police Service Commission conference in Benin City. Goodluck Enaini reports.
It is few days to the month of December, and activities marking the end of the year are expected to be more visible in both human and vehicular activities. Available records indicate that the period usually witness an upsurge in crimes and criminality, as hoodlums often see it as an opportunity to carry out their nefarious activities. The former IGP, Dr. Arase, says effective policing during this period is possible, but not without the people's support.
Any country that does not support its police force cannot have a good police force.
He says the Tinubu-led administration is handling the issue of security with the seriousness it deserves, and urge Nigerians to always say something when they see something and see the police as their friend. In Benin, Goodluck Enaini, NTA News.
Indeed, if you see something, say something. Next is Sports Update.